today we'll be going over how to do stitch braids, so let's jump right into it. First, with most trending styles, you want to make sure you're starting off on freshly blown out hair, root to tip, easy to comb through. With stitch braids, you want to be using a fine tooth comb to comb your product through. And you want to make sure that you are using high quality products. I have links below for the products that I use, but right now I'm using Evolving Textures O-Gel, which is an organic gel that I use to mold all my stitch and knotless braids. It has biotin and aloe infused, so it's really good for hair. It does not turn white and it holds really, really well. It's kind of expensive, but it is very worth it. So right now I'm using a small tooth comb to distribute the product. I like to use a small tooth comb. If I go to comb and the comb is like getting stuck, that probably means that the hair either maybe like wasn't blown out enough or is like maybe too thick. So I might flip it over to the wider side or use a different comb. But before I start braiding, I need to be able to get through all of the hair with a fine tooth comb. That just helps to make sure that all the product is evenly distributed and that everything is nice and smooth in this molding process. You want to make sure you are distributing product well. Also notice that I don't put hair gel on her scalp. I will use Shine Gem to perfect parts, but I don't use hair gel, the actual molding gel on her scalp. It goes directly on her hair, directly like right next to the root, but not on the actual scalp. So now I'm just going through making sure everything is like saturated. Like you want it well saturated, but you don't want it just like soaking wet. And yeah, there's a balance. You want to be able to see it and feel it, but you don't want it to be you don't want too much product, plus the stuff is expensive. So now I'm going down and just splitting this section in half. Just makes it easy to keep the braids centered, keep my stitches even. For edges, I keep edges very, very simple unless my client requests their edges to be extra. So I just like pretty much swoop it back into the braid. And now I'm getting ready to start the actual braid. So I'll split up a section in the front, pick up my section in the front, and I'll go around 2 to 3 times. This just depends on the thickness of the client's hair before I actually start braiding. Now to make my stitches, I use I glue a stiletto nail onto my pinkies, and that way it can come on and off every day. I replace it maybe every 2 to 3 days, depending on how many sets of stitch braids that I have. Some people use combs. Some people can even use their natural nails. I can use my natural nails, but I found that with the amount of product that it takes to get stitch braids to look and to hold the way that you want them to be, that using some sort of tool, there are even like little metal tools that people can attach to their fingers to do the stitches. But so I found that some sort of tool, whether it's a comb or the nail, to help to pretty much like slice through that hair, makes your stitches very, very clean, and also just makes it easy to separate the hair. Also notice that when I use my pinky to split up my section that I'm going to do next, so that's what I consider my stitch. So I'm using my pinky to lift up that section, and then the rest of her natural hair I kind of push toward the back, like move it out of the way, just to define the line that's in that stitch braid. And I add from the right hand side, so I have to make another video to show you guys how I add hair because I didn't have a good angle. But yeah, so you pretty much just are doing the same thing though on the left and on the right. So I add hair kind of just based on how thick I want the braid to be, but I can go more into detail about that in a different video. But yeah, so just take my pinky, split the section that I want, make sure that it's like nice and defined, and then go ahead and complete the braid like I would any other normal braid. So the big keys with stitch braids is really, it's technique, but a lot of it is like product and how you prep the hair. Because if you're able to just like divide those sections up, separate those sections as you braid, that's how you get those nice clean stitches. And just knowing that using some sort of tool like a nail, like a metal tool, or a comb, a rat tail comb, are going to help you to define those stitches. Just those few little tips and tricks take your stitches a really long way. Fun fact, the woman sitting in my chair during this video, she was actually my first Plaid Queen Braids client. So I've been braiding for a long time, but Plaid Queen Braids has only been around for about 3 years. So she was my very first client for Plaid Queen Braids. And when I tell you that my stitch braids did not look like this, honey, they did not look like this. All right, so Ruben and I have come a long way in this journey, but ultimately trying different things, looking at different videos, different ways that other people do it on YouTube, on Instagram, and most importantly, practicing whenever I could. Like, I wanted to be good so bad, I would practice all the time. I would get a mannequin and practice on my coworkers, practice on my friends, practice on myself. I would keep my own hair braided so that people would stop me in public and ask me who braided my hair. Like, it's really out there to be got if that is something that you are really, really interested in. So I hope that this was able to help someone. So I'm just going to play it out, me finishing up this braid. And please feel free to comment with any questions. Please like, subscribe, and share. And I'll promise to keep the content coming. Can't wait to continue to get to know you guys and to continue to upload creative and informative videos that are hopefully helpful to someone out there.